Beauties, my name is Shweta Vijay and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video today is extremely exciting. I'll tell you why. I know I keep on introducing my video saying that it's going to be an exciting video, but this one is truly special. It's a full face, going by the title, you guys are here just for one thing. Full face of Juicy Chemistry's makeup launch, and they have an extensive line. And when I tell you extensive, they have gone all out with this launch. They have an eyeshadow palette, they've got eye pencils, they've got foundation, they've got concealers, they've got lipsticks, lip and cheek tint. Now this is not a sponsored video. As soon as I got it, I felt that I should do a full face glam to tell you exactly what is good and what is just about okay. Now with these launches, Feb 2022, I've been testing them out, especially their foundation, their concealers and their eye pencils, as well as their mascaras. I was sent so many samples, you guys. It was such a pleasure, and I'm so happy that the brand invited me to come on board and to help them out, just basically give my opinion, give my feedback, and it was such a beautiful journey. And I've been doing this, and nobody knows about the side hustle that I do besides just making YouTube videos. I started consulting for various other brands, especially for their makeup line, because makeup has always been my first love. People think it's skincare, but it's always been makeup. The owner of Juicy Chemistry, trusted me to come on board and help them out with it. Now, I've been testing out their foundations, and there were so many things about the foundations that I loved. I was very particular when Mega spoke to me that there has to be an extensive range for the deeper, darker skin tone. When it came to settling with the shade range, we started off with 15, but I was like, no, I want at least 20. And I'm so glad that they started with 20, because when you see the the 6 shades for the deeper, darker skin tone, they're not just giving you something that will settle above NC42. They are giving you just check out the darker skin tone out here. When I got the sample and I was testing it out, you guys, the darkest shade, my mind was blown, because when you see the shade that I had, there were various undertones for the deeper, darker girls. It was just not cool undertone or warm undertone. There was also a red undertone, you guys, and not many brands in India. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was very important for me as a content creator to use my influence in the right way. And I've been talking about how brands are not inclusive where shade range is concerned. And for me, it was very important that if Juicy Chemistry and I were getting on board, the thought process has to be the same. But for now, I've done a full face of Juicy Chemistry's makeup line. Is it as good as what I was testing out? Because end of the day, I only gave my opinion. I tested things out. 3 months before I could leave is when I gave my final, review for the brand, and what came out of this brand right now after their launch, from what I can see from their stellar packaging, you guys. So amazing. Incredible ingredients used out here, no fragrance, so it's great for people who have got sensitive skin. Did it turn out to be as fine as what I was testing? Well, we just need to watch the video. I just thought that I should do this for you guys because everyone's interested at their makeup line. I feel that their makeup line is a little more exciting than their skincare line. Don't get me wrong, I've loved their skincare for a very long time, but something about this makeup launch, you guys, is special. So let's start. So I need to moisturize my face because it's feeling a little parched right now. I'm in London. The weather is crazy today, and that's what I need, and they don't have any primers. So first things first, I want to use the Requil Ceramide Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer, which I feel is just perfect right now to apply that, because it's thick enough and hydrating enough. It's not going to make my face greasy. For prime, I'm going to use the NYX Plump Right Back with Electrolytes Mix. So I've already done my eyebrows because they didn't have any eyebrow products as of yet. So I'm starting off with the concealer, and from what I noticed when I was testing the concealer as well, that first of all, the packaging. It comes in a stick format. It is not a serum format. It's very creamy. They've got the consistency and they've got the texture right. So as soon as you apply this, and because it's on a stick format, you're able to use it the way you want to use it. Like for example, sometimes without using your fingers, I can really target this section and completely conceal it, and it's very creamy and very blendable. Those were the testers when I was trying it out. These were the testers that I was using. As you can see, the batch number and everything was put over there. Concealers, they've got 8 shades, you guys, and the darker shade 007 Tundra. If you see it, it's so lovely to see a concealer that dark. Lovely packaging, you guys, very sustainable, and the pencils look like this, and on the side they have given the shade of the pencil pencils. So I got two. I got 002 Savannah. I feel Prairie is a little bit too dark, and most of the concealers have got that salmon undertone. They've got an orange undertone, a more goldy undertone to it, so that, you know, it also targets any dark marks, dark spots, as well as dark circles, which is very, very clever. So I think I will go for 002 because that I feel is closer to me. And I'm just going to, oh, it's a bit too creamy that it broke. All right, no problem. I'm just going to take that little bit. Yeah, texture is like as if, you know, so think the texture basically is like as if, you know, those pot concealers, that sort of a texture. So wherever I have marks, yeah, it's a bit too warm. It's got a lot of that pink salmon undertone. And can you see how easy it was to blends very well with your fingers as well. So I'm assuming that you do not need a color corrector with this. But guys, it blends so well. Can you see that beautiful concealer? It's a proper matte concealer. It goes creamy, but it turns into a very soft matte, not a drying matte, and that's really nice. So I'm going to use this tester. I don't know what shade this one is, you guys. And I'm just going to apply that. See, that just brightened it. So excited about the foundation because the foundation, I've been testing it and testing it and testing it. I was sent boxes of samples and it was not easy, you know, just testing it. And I did months on end testing, giving them my feedback. The sample that I had, basically, I felt that it was a bit too matte and it was showcasing my dry area. And their whole idea behind this foundation was to give you soft matte finish. So I'm very interested to see exactly what the end results are. Every time NC40 and above, the shade limits are very less. It's either you have 10 shades of beige, or it's very limited. And the fact that they went all the way to 20, and if you see the darkest shade that they have, it is really dark, you guys. They're not just making a foundation for the sake of, being inclusive. I haven't seen this sort of a tone, undertone, and, I'm talking about the shade match for a deeper, darker skin tone. You have no idea how happy my cousin was, who is of this complexion. For a deeper, darker skin tone, it's not about the warm and the neutral. There's a lot of red in their skin tone, and not many brands understand that. I was not able to tell many of you what I was using, but I was contouring most of the time with that. It's just phenomenal. The two shades that they sent me is Cocoa TW05 and Caramel TW06, which I feel might be a bit too dark for my skin tone. I think I fall, because from what I can see on their website, this falls under the tan zone, and I'm not tan, I'm medium basically. So I would have gone for medium skin with warm undertone, which is MW04. Now I am an NC40 MAC reference. So this is the packaging, you guys. Again, it's got a glass bottle packaging. It's got a wooden top out here. It's got a pump applicator, very easy to dispense, very hygienic. And on the back of the box, you have the pricing, you've got the ingredient list, and you've also got where it's manufactured, the company stamp, which is very important when you look at a product. You need all this information. And I'm going to start, oh, so excited. I'm going to start applying that. But it's definitely buildable, and it just applied really well. Okay, so from what I mentioned, even when I was trying the sample, it wasn't as soft matte as I wanted it to be. Definitely there is an improvement out there. There is that little tackiness that happens with this foundation. It gave me the coverage, and it's not emphasizing my texture, you guys. So I'm just going to try Caramel as well and see whether this works. For some strange reason, Caramel is working for me. I'm just going to apply that. It's coming across more neutral. Tan can also, Caramel, if you're NC40, you're confused when I'm saying go for the deeper, darker shade, if you're confused about, you can also try the tan that is Caramel as well as Cocoa, just to be on the safer side. But I do love the coverage. Look at that. It covered everything possible. It is a lot more softer than my samples. It's a bit too tacky, keep that in mind. You might have to set it with a loose powder or a compact powder. As I touch it, I feel that tackiness on my skin, and Though this is a lot more softer than my sample, it is still matte. So this is perfect for people who have got combination normal and oily skin. You've got something, even if you've got, because it's got no fragrance in it, if you've got sensitive skin, you can make this one work. But it definitely gives a certain glow on the face. Like, I don't know if you can notice, for a matte foundation, it feels matte, but look at that, how it sits on the skin. It's giving a beautiful glow. If you have dry skin, you have to really moisturize, or you can just completely avoid this. I'm not sure how it's going to be if you have very, very dry skin, you know, Sahara Desert skin, because this definitely turned into a matte foundation. Phenomenal coverage, loving the undertones out here, despite this not being my shade. You can see it. You can see my face and neck. You know, what a difference. I had to be under the medium skin tone. So because of the weather out here and it's not humid, I'm not able to tell you exactly how it's going to make my face look at the end of the day. And we are going on with Color Chemistry's Baked Compact Powder. This is supposed to have a satin matte finish. Again, ingredients on the back, beautiful box. Look at this little compact powder out here. And what I love about it, it's got that curved effect out here. Can you see that? So even if you want to touch it up straight away, I wouldn't. It's not hygienic, but I'm just saying, if, you know, let's just see. You know, you can just press it because it's got a nice curve to it. Anyway, I'm going to use my powder puff. So they've got 8 shades that varies from really fair skin tone, that is 02 Pearl Light, all the way to B06, which is Wood. And if you see the person also that they've taken a really deeper, darker skin tone, and it's sitting really well on their skin. Now, I've not tested this one out, so I'm really excited. They did not send me this. I didn't even know that they were making a compact powder. And powders is what I'm excited about always. And let's just set this. This powder has got a slight coverage to it. So if you've got flawless complexion, you're not a foundation person, if you just want to apply a little bit of that tint and set it with this, you'll get a little coverage. As you can see, my face, oh, that's a beautiful, soft satin finish. I love the powder. I really do. It just gives that slight coverage, but it is not my shade. It's making me look like really like as if, you know, I can go to a Chinese restaurant and order an orange chicken. I look like I can participate in the next Finding Nemo. I'm looking very orange. So this is in the shade Sandstone B05. I think I could have gone for maybe Canvas 03 or Aura 04, more of a canvas shade. So keep that in mind, that if you have got a darker foundation, if you're not too sure, then maybe you can pick up a lighter compact. It definitely is a very beautiful soft matte. It goes really well even with a powder brush, but I feel this works better because it's like one of those baked compact. I think if you have a powder puff or you have a sponge, it'll work a lot more to, you know, just set this powder on your skin. But it is just, it's so brilliant. It's just a shame that, you know, I don't have the right colors with me. I'm looking a bit too orange. I probably will have to give this to my aunt. This definitely has caught my attention, so that's saying a lot. The packaging of this eyeshadow palette is something else. I love that, how small and compact and sleek this one is. So lovely to just put this in your handbag. So well thought of because it's also got a mirror. You know, it's nice and sustainable, beautiful packaging out here. So it gives you 4 intense pigmented, super blendable, creamy matte finish eyeshadows. So all the eyeshadow palettes are over here and all the colors are mentioned. So you can even use the back of the mirror, you know, when you're traveling. Very well thought of. And they've got a cool tone palette as well, the next one. I would have loved it if I had a cool tone because I've got too many warm tones. But nevertheless, for my everyday use, I gravitate towards warm tones. And I'm just going to apply that all over. It's very soft. Definitely. I'm just going to blend that. It immediately settled into my lines and it's a little chalky. I think take excess out. As you can see, so much of fallout there. I'm not too mad about a fallout, guys. It just shows that it's pigmented. And now I'm going to build up the color. I'm going to take this beautiful cool tone brown called Meadow. Very pigmented. Tap out. There is a fallout. And I'm going to tap that. Oh, it's a very beautiful subtle brown. Very, very unusual brown. Very subtle. You know, it's not something that, you know, as soon as you hit the eyelid, it'll show the color immediately. Now I'm going to take this nice earthy brown called Sage. Ever so slowly, I'm going to pack this on the outer corner of my eye. You know what I've noticed about this eyeshadow as I'm applying it? It is very mature skin friendly. And what I mean by that is it's a very subtle matte, a soft matte, buildable eyeshadow. So it's not something that as soon as you will notice that when you apply that, when you hit your brush, you'll see that fallout. You'll see it flying away into dust. But when you apply that, it just builds the color. The color is very buildable. So the control is with you to put as much or as little as possible. And that's what I love about it. And it really blends so well. I understand that this is not about pigmentation out here. This is about building a color, and it builds beautifully and very soft and blends also very well. It's a very soft powder. If you love that pigmented eyeshadow palette, this is not the one for you. This is more for people who love a subtle color, a soft color that you can build, you know. Now I'm going to take the black one. It looks really pigmented on the brush. It's going to fall out. Look at that black. So easy to build up, you guys. You know, if you've been afraid of black eyeshadows like this, which is soft and so easy to make. And this is the black that goes really subtle and you build it up. And right here on the front, I want to apply a little more of that white eyeshadow so that it opens. Wow, that was soft. I was so unsure when I applied the white one, but it's a soft matte that just doesn't emphasize any of my lines out here. It's such a lovely mature eyeshadow palette. I have a feeling that as time goes by, this might not be the most friendly, travel-friendly packaging, only because it might get loose and you know, the eyeshadow palette could spill, but it is solid enough for now. But overuse, I have a feeling it'll get a little loose and it'll change the travel-friendly mode. But I do love this eyeshadow palette. It's beautiful. Let's move on to eye pencils. The eyeshadow palette, they did not send me, you know, for testing, but what they sent me in bulk was their eye pencils, their mascaras, and I was testing their eye pencils for a long time. So you must have seen me use this. Look at that. This has got the batch code out here. This was the first sample. It came like this in the small kajal one, which I really liked, and I fell in love with their nude eye pencils because they're so creamy. So let me show you the outside packaging. This is what the outside looks like. So beautiful. Again, behind the box are the colors that matches to your eye pencils, and it's got the ingredient list. This is what the eye pencil looks like. So finally they went with this sample prototype, so I'm glad. And as soon as you open it from the inside packaging, this is what the eye pencil packaging, everything, the packaging is stellar. So you get your juicy chemistry written right here, and at the back you get all the colors that they retail. So in the inner corner of my eye, I'm going to apply this nude eye pencil. So I'm going to go really close to the camera so you can see. And it's very creamy. And look at that. It's not too white. It's not too nude. It's just going to open up your eye. And I'm going to apply that right here. So if I were you, I would be picking up the nude eye pencil for sure. This is just perfect. It's not too creamy, it's not too pigmented, it's buildable, and that's what I like about a nude eye pencil. I don't like an extremely pigmented eye pencil, nude color I'm talking about, only because it then goes on the lash line. So this just does the trick. So please get this one. Now with the colored pencils, I have to tell you, you have to warm it on the back of your hand, melt that waxy texture, and then it goes with ease on your waterline. Doesn't make my eyes water. It goes on with a little ease. These eye pencils, I feel, are perfect for people who have got sensitive eyes, especially for women who are pregnant. When their eyes get a lot more sensitive, this is the one for you. Another thing to keep in mind, that these eye pencils, which, because I've been testing them out for a very long time, they're not long wearing. They will definitely spread, but nothing a good eyeshadow powder or a compact powder can't fix. Just do a little baking underneath it so that, you know, it doesn't spread, because this has a tendency of spreading on the outer corner of your eyes a little bit more. But is it comfortable? Yes. Is it extremely pigmented? No. You have to build the color again, but it definitely goes with ease on your waterline. And I have been just using the Juicy Chemistry one for a very long time because I need something that won't make my eyes water. As I'm growing older, I am not all about the long wearing and the pigmented that makes my eye red. I'm all about comfort at the moment, and these are extremely comfortable eye pencils. To somehow bring a little different color to my already existent orange face, I think I'm gonna go with this lip and cheek tint. I have tried this one out, you guys. It's extremely creamy and I really love this. I love this. I love this. I think they have done such a good job out here. From the packaging, you know, where you can get it color coordinated labels right out here. This shade in particular called Rosa, and there's another one called Coconut, which is such dark toned brownie lip and cheek tint. What I love about this is because it's got that right balance of being creamy, slightly matte, so that it goes with that little ease on your cheeks and it stays put without moving the existing makeup. So definitely whatever colors that you choose from this, you're going to love it. And come on, it's beautiful and it blends really easy. You have to be very quick with it. The playtime with this is little less, because once it stays put, look at that, so quickly it you know, got into a matte texture. Beautiful finish. I think they have done such a phenomenal job with the lip and cheek tint. Look how pretty that one is. And I've got a medium complexion, and this is going to suit every complexion, this particular pink. This one, which I thought was my perfect match, the caramel one, has oxidized and gone a little deeper, and this one that is cocoa is now my perfect one. I'm just going to use another powder, you guys, because I can't apply this compact powder. So I'm taking the Verified's loose powder, which is one of my favorite. These lipsticks, from the packaging to the texture to the pigmentation, they've got it right with the lipsticks. I have no complaints about these lipsticks. The colors are very Indian skin friendly. Now, if you are not a fan of your matte drying lipstick, then you should reach out for this, because it's got a very nice, almost like a velvety satin finish to this matte. Extremely comfortable, and generally there are not too many people who are fans of liquid mattes, then this is the one for you. The three colors that I've shown you, Rosa, Charlie Rose and Feather Heat, these three are my absolute favorite. Charlie Rose is such a beautiful brown. It's got that earthy brown to it. There's a slight hint of red undertones coming through. Feather Reed has got that brown and that mauve undertones coming through. Very cool tone. It's got that hint of berry, but more of that brown and mauve coming through. Oof, it's so beautiful. Again, Rosa is such a lovely pink lipstick, you guys, that everyday pink lipstick. Oh, it's so perfect. You know, they've got the undertones right. Again, it'll suit all skin tones, especially fair to medium. If you've got a deeper complexion, just apply a burgundy lip liner underneath that and put Rosa on top, and you're going to love it. It's so perfect, these lipsticks. And also I've noticed that when they transfer, it doesn't bleed excessively and it leaves a nice tint on your lips. The staying power of these lipsticks, I would say that of course, because they are bullet lipsticks and they've got that, you know, satin soft matte finish, it does transfer. So if you've got a hot drink, you've got oily food, it's going to break it down. There is absolutely zero scent. So if you're somebody who doesn't like a scent, a fragrance on their lipsticks, then you're going to enjoy this one, you guys. It's beautiful. So guys, that completes the video. Full face of Juicy Chemistries, very extensive color line. Oh god, they've done such a good job out here. Now let me tell you what my final thoughts are. Let's start off with the concealers. Definitely something I've been testing out. I love it. I love that you can use it with ease. I just wish that it came with a sharpener, but nevertheless, I like the fact that, you know, you can target wherever you want to target with a concealer because of the pencil format. It's very creamy, very buildable. I also like the fact that the concealers have got salmon undertone, orange undertone, so you can color correct with this. Now let's talk about the foundation. Again, packaging 10 on 10. I love that it's got that pump applicator, it's got that medium coverage, good enough to even act like a full coverage. Okay, so you just need a little bit. It turns into a proper matte finish. This definitely oxidizes ever so slightly. I'm definitely going to check in at 6 and give you my final verdict, but it did not emphasize my texture as of much, only because it's matte. So in humid countries, this would be really perfect. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10 only because I wish it was a little more hydrating. The samples also I tried had that little bit of that tacky feel. This has got not as much, but slightly tacky, which goes over time when you set it with a loose powder, and because of that, I'm giving this an 8.5 out of 10. Otherwise, from the color range, I mean, you girls, my ebony goddesses out there, you're going to get a foundation that's right with your undertone as well as your proper shade match. Go for it, you guys. Lovely. Eye pencils, definitely buy the nude eye pencils, colored eye pencils. You will get more pigmented colored eye pencils out there. If you've got sensitive eyes, this is the line for you. Otherwise, where pigmentation is concerned, where the colored eye pencils are, you get better pigmented eye pencils out there. So I would give this a 7 out of 10. But for the nude eye pencil, that gets a 10 on 10 because you want something like that that's got a little bit of that waxy feel when it comes to a nude eye pencil that sits very well on the waterline and doesn't bleed, and it doesn't go on your lower lash line. You know, you need the right amount of pigmentation. So the nude pencil gets a 10 on 10. Compact powder. Now, I wish I had the right shade, you guys, so I'm not able to give you my proper verdict on this because I looked very orange with this shade in particular. But I'm going to talk about the texture. It is soft. It's got a little bit of coverage. So if you've got really beautiful flawless complexion and you're somebody who just likes to use a BB or a CC tint and you want a slight coverage when it comes to a compact powder, this is the one for you. I love the packaging. I love that there's no fragrance out here. Very soft texture, you guys. It gives you the right amount of coverage. For that, I will give this a 9 out of 10 only because I'm not able to judge it properly since it made it orange. Eyeshadow palette. Not sure of the other palettes, but this one that I have, definitely a 9 out of 10. The only reason it's lost out on that one point is only I feel that the packaging is going to be a little troublesome towards the end, though it looks stellar right now. This actually is the item that surprised me the most. I didn't think that I was going to like this when I swatched it. Towards the end, when I started playing around with the other 3 colors, it went off like a dream, and as you can see, it's soft and nice and it blends. It's really lovely. I'm not sure of the other ones, you guys, so I can't speak much. Lip and cheek tints. Yes. Very soft, very velvety. It's extremely pigmented, buildable, stays put on your cheeks. Stellar packaging. Everything about this screams a 10 on 10. Last but not the least are these lipsticks, you guys. Again, this gets a 10 on 10 for me, only because I'm a matte lipstick person and this really took me by surprise. This reminds me so much of Lisa Eldridge's lipstick texture wise, and many international lipsticks, you know, that are very comfortable to wear. It's got that pigmentation. It doesn't go on patchy. At least the 3 colors that I have doesn't go on patchy, you guys. They're very Indian skin tone friendly. So if you've got dark skin, medium skin, you know, fair skin, you're bound to get something to your liking. So that completes the video. I'm going to now just check in at 6:30 and give you my final verdict of the foundation, and that's about it. All right, guys, it is 6:30 right now. Definitely now it's emphasizing my texture. It has oxidized ever so slightly. It's not looking too bad. Definitely on my T-zone area, despite being in this cold climate, I can see that it looks a little shiny. Phenomenal coverage for almost a full day of makeup, you guys. Again, there's that tackiness to it, but it's not as bad, and very minimal transfer, you know. So it has come off. It has become slightly, I mean, it's worn out, but the staying power of this foundation is something else. Good job, Juicy Chemistry.